Although many of us like to learn about new productivity hacks, the tricks and the tips when it comes to new habit formation, etc., we read books, we listen to podcasts, we watch such videos, and then we realize that it is not practically possible to implement those. In this video, let us look at how to deal with this inconsistency. Do you know the story of Prince Siddhartha? Let me quickly share with you. Prince Siddhartha was brought up in a very lavish environment. He was surrounded with vegetables, fruits and fresh flowers. There was a lot of color and vibrancy around him. Even the servants who were serving him were very young and energetic men and women. So he was completely surrounded with that vitality and freshness and liveliness of life. One day he decides to go outside his palace. Now, he being a prince, nobody can stop him, and the arrangements were done for him to move outside the palace. The moment he goes outside, for the first time in his life, he sees an old man, and he has never seen someone as old as that in his entire life. Then as he moves a little ahead, he sees a sick person, a person suffering with illness. Absolutely a new visual to him. After some time, he sees a dead body, and then the people surrounding with that dead body going through pain and suffering and all that sadness. He had never seen that all before. Now many people say that Siddhartha became Gautam Buddha after 7 years sitting under a Bodhi tree. He got enlightenment. That might be the story, but my view is Siddhartha actually became Gautam Buddha, or that whatever enlightenment you want to call it, that actually happened when he moved out of the palace and when he saw this suffering and pain in the world. That was the moment which he could not unsee ever after that in his life. And that's why if you read about Buddha, you look at the different principles he has spoken about, they all deal with this whole topic of desire and suffering. So that, I think, becomes a critical part where you see something and then you cannot unsee it. And that experience, I think, is a very powerful experience, and it happens to all of us in our day-to-day life. If we are present, if we are aware to it, that you see something with a different lens, with a different perspective, and then you cannot unsee it. One such incident happened with me recently when I read the post in the newsletter Womening in India. It's a newsletter written by Mahima Vasisht. I will put the link in the description, and the post was why productivity hacks do not work for women. Now that's an eye-opener. Especially for men, if you go through the newsletter, you will realize how disconnected some of these productivity hacks and tools and techniques which are spoken by the productivity gurus is not relevant in most of the scenarios. Of course, in this video, I'm not going to limit it or restrict it to a particular gender. We will try to see how the modern day challenges and the so-called productivity hacks are disconnected and what is the solution. That's more important. Let us take one of the best book on building habits. Trust me, it is one of the best book I'm saying because I love the book. I have been using some of the quotes from the book. It's a book by James Clear and the name of the book is Atomic Habits. I'm 100% sure most of you have read this book. If not, you might have heard about these books and the quotes from this book. Fabulous book. You should have it. But starting with our problem, if you open the book, the first line on this book, if you see the first page, the very first line on the book says, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. The very first two words, an easy. Of course, proven part is something we will discuss later, and that's not important right now at least. But when you start by saying that it's an easy way, I have a big problem with that. It is not easy. It's a simple way, I would say yes. But simple is not easy. The book gives you very simplistic ways, and that's why I'm saying that this is the best book on this topic of habits as of today's date. There might be better books coming in the future, but as of today's date, this has taken care of all the past good books on this topic and articulated it very well. And James Clear has been on top of this topic for a long time. So because he was writing blogs and he has got feedback from the audience who were reading those blogs, and all that has been taken care. So nothing wrong with the book, but the problem is when we say that it's an easy method or an easy way, that is a problem because it is not easy to begin with. Secondly, some of the things which are mentioned might not be directly applicable to us. And that's why it requires customization. And this problem is not limited to books. You see many YouTube videos, you see podcasts, you read articles which are written on productivity and habit building. They all try to tell you something as if the rest of the things, the rest of the conditions are constant. It is like that scientific experiment which you are doing. If everything is constant, then that will work. But in real life, nothing is constant. So the first point which I would like to mention here, and we should all start with, is acknowledging the reality. We often juggle diverse responsibilities that these tools might not account for. It's essential to understand that these tools might need tweaking to fit into our daily realities. Number two, customization. Productivity is not a rigid structure. It's a fluid concept. Tailoring it to individual needs can make it far more effective and sustainable. For example, when we talk about a very powerful concept like time boxing for productivity, for getting things done, I have made a video on that topic. You can check the link here. Now, the thing is, when we talk about time boxing, it is important to understand that you have to customize that time boxing, or when to do or when to box the time as per your schedule. If you think that on one side there is a 5 a.m. club by Robin Sharma and the Ankur Warikus of the world, and then there is time boxing coming, kind of concepts being discussed in deep work by Carl Newport, etc. If you try to bring this both together and try to make time boxing at 5 a.m. in the morning, it is not going to work. Trust me, every day at 6 o'clock I have to start working on preparing my kids to go to school, and from 6 to almost 7 to 7:03 sometimes till the bus comes and they take the bus, I am fully busy in that activity of getting them ready, making sure that what are the WhatsApp messages which have come late in night by someone who remembers that there is some activity to be done for which you need to have magenta color paper with some kind of toothpicks and some ice cream sticks and all those things. So you are organizing all those things in the morning. After doing all that, you cannot do time boxing for reading or time boxing for whatever focused work which you want to do. Obviously, you have to make sure that your time boxing should happen when the kids go to school, and then your work starts at maybe say 10 a.m. or whatever. So in between whatever 8 to 10 time you have, you can box it. Now you may say that, oh, that is my time for exercise. It's absolutely okay, then make it in the evening. So the whole point is customize it as per your schedule. Don't get stuck with what time, what thing is to be done to be told by someone else. Third is to embrace flexibility. Some days will be unpredictable. Embracing flexibility means understanding that productivity isn't always about work. Sometimes it's about your family. It's about your personal well-being, or even just rest. Number 4 is seeking support. Open dialogue is very crucial here. Whether it is in your personal life with your life partner or in your professional life with your colleagues, with your team members, it is important to understand not by going what the hierarchical approach should be or what the traditional approach should be in case of family life, rather than looking at what responsibilities come traditionally to a particular role. You have to be practical and pragmatic about what is required to be done and how to jointly do it together. If images like this are making you laugh, then trust me, the joke is on you. And last but not the least, number 5 is redefining productivity. Productivity isn't solely about work. It's about holistic well-being. It's the balance of personal health, family, self-care, and professional achievements. In the end, productivity is deeply personal. You will decide what is important for you in your life. No one else can tell you, especially if the person herself or himself is not connected with the real world. We are not living in a jungle, in an ashram. Hello. We are living here in a concrete jungle, fighting the traffic of our hopes, our desires, our duties, and our responsibilities. So it is important to understand that what is productivity has to be relooked. What is productivity has to be redefined for ourselves. And based on your purpose, based on your goals in life, then align yourself to do those things in your own way. Productivity is not about being efficient. It's about being fulfilled, balanced, and living a meaningful life. With that, we complete this video. If you like this video, please press the like button. If you think that this topic can be helpful or useful to other people in your life or other people whom you know, please feel free to share with them, give them the links of this video so that they also can get whatever benefit they can get from this video. And in the comments, do share your views when it comes to these productivity hacks and the productivity bros, what they are giving you the hints, and how is it applicable for you in your realistic life, and if not, what are the alternative ways which you would like to choose. With that, we complete this video. Keep rocking.